Talk Show.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 449.
It's Weekend Banter. It's Sunday. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
It might be the coffee that's just perked me right up.
I think it's the being in nature.
Yeah. I mean, some say that we were out filming second season of Our Planet or second feature-length documentary series.
Well, because I told you about the behind the scenes of Our Planet where they basically filmed the cinematographers and the directors who would go into these crazy places around the world and film like animals and nature.
Yeah,
and
I reckon it's actually better than Our Planet. I reckon it's better than... Because David Attenborough narrates this one. You just don't see him in it, but he just got dragged into the VO booth.
Have you seen... Because I've seen Planet Earth.
Oh, sorry, that's what I mean.
No, I think it is, but I think Our Planet 97, were you saying is a different thing?
Yeah. So Our Planet is Netflix's Planet Earth, and then BBC actually...
Oh, then I've only seen Our Planet because I've only watched...
Yeah.
So I'm a tight ass. I watch fucking Netflix.
Whatever's on Netflix.
I got no other subscription. And sometimes I will watch a cheap movie on iTunes.
Really?
I'll rent it.
I rented one, but then it only gives you 48 hours. I didn't have time to watch the whole thing.
Then why did you pay for it? That's the whole point. You just buy it. The only reason, I mean, it makes sense. When you have time to watch a movie, you're browsing, and then you press go, and then you watch, and then if you cut out halfway, or if you're just like, oh, I'm too tired, then you've got 48 hours. You can watch it the next night. We've done that.
Well, it's not too dissimilar to how I guess Blockbuster or Video Easy used to work.
I mean, are those words quite foreign to you, Mr. 97?
Blockbusters? Actually, I remember going to Blockbuster.
Movie Land?
Nah.
Movie Land was like a Povo.
Yeah, we had Movie Land in Brighton.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
Like, yeah.
They always had those at Blockbuster. They always had those like square stands, and they'd always have lollies and treats in at the counter. It's great.
So you still remember going, but you're getting DVDs, not VHS.
No, DVDs.
Okay. No.
Would have been Blu-ray as well.
It's crazy to think it wasn't that long ago with the Netflix, like the mail delivery.
I mean, how many people in Australia did that?
Well, no one in Australia. There was no Netflix DVD service, but there was QuickFlix.
Yeah.
Which is when I got the credit, like people coming after me. What's that called? Debt collectors.
Debt collectors, yeah. So Blockbuster fucked up when they were having that meeting, which is that famous story about whether they were going to invest in going down the streaming path, and they opted out of it, and their business is now folded. How annoying.
It's a convenient story. It feels like there would have been many conversations.
Yeah.
Because I guess there is the argument that there are the ones that survived for a bit longer than the others, the video stores. They definitely weren't just doing videos. You were there for the ice cream. You were there for the lollies.
Were you?
Mainly food.
I mean, I was mainly there for the movies.
Yeah.
I always just thought it was too expensive. It's like the cinemas now. But the fine thing, it used to be a big thing. Like you return a overnight rental late and you get whatever. Is it just, how did they used to do it? Was a night, like they charge you
I do not
$7?
know.
It's bizarre, but who comes up with these figures? So, Mr. 97, I sent you something, and it was a photo I took the other night where I park going to the gym. It's a little bit away. I'm one of those sooks that drives to the gym, but then I get pissed when I have to walk further than I need to. Like all the parks out the front.
How far?
I take it 500 meters.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I know, but I've got there in the car. I just hope for the Rockstar car park. Shrunk, get out, go and do my exercise. Shrunk, back in.
Do you have to? It gets annoying if you need to drive to check the first car park and then backtrack.
No backtracking. So I drive past, and if I get I always get one up near this space.
Did you get me almond milk or normal milk?
I got you normal milk.
I'm feeling a little bit phlegmy.
It's probably just a thick hot chocolate. I think it'd be the same if it was almond milk.
No, sorry. But you might have noticed
I
I
could
almost
hear it.
sound a bit hermity there.
I could hear it. Anyway, so I walk past this train line, this train bridge, and there's a sign, and on the sign is like basically telling Gronks not to throw rubbish down onto the track area, because there is an old, it looks like something out of the library from my primary school. It's so old, but people dump shit. It's fucking disgusting. Anyway, how much, Mr. 97, what does it say on that photo they sent you?
Dumping rubbish is illegal.
Yeah.
Spot fines of $317.
It seems cheap.
I know this. So who's firstly $317? Kind of cheap. Do you actually like if you
How
get
much
caught,
rubbish?
If you get caught just lobbing a fucking laptop, some old bloody
And
rear
an
projection telly, straight over, you just all right, mate, $317. But then who actually comes up with this? Do you know?
Sorry, I'm eating croissant. No, I don't.
So I looked this up. Sorry. I put this onto my Instagram account, and I actually got sent a message from Lydia. I don't know Lydia, but she's come with the goods, and she said the state government, I believe, a certain number of penalty units for different offences. So my take of that is they've got like a tally system, and you'd probably like do some check boxes. It probably is this old school where they're using pencil, and they check a few, and then at the end it can spit out based on a few boxes that have been checked.
Yeah.
The number of the fine, and so that's why you get obscure fines like $317.
Well, Well, the thing is here, the current value of a penalty unit is $165.22.
Wait, so what's a penalty unit? I
So
don't
it must
understand.
be. So if you're looking to establish, so if we're want to enforce some kind of Gronk fine for someone who leaves an empty toilet roll and then proceeds to put a full toilet roll, doesn't take off the empty one and replace it with a full one, they just put the full one on top of
never
the
do
empty
that.
one. Someone did it.
Also,
I won't
it
name the
wasn't
name.
me.
No, I think it's outside of our circle. We
we
were
have guests.
infiltrated by Gronk.
Yeah.
And they pulled the Gronk move on us.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Maybe they didn't know.
So the point is, Mace, for that kind of a fine, you'd go, okay, who's it affecting? Maybe that's one penalty unit. Maybe they have like a rating system for what it takes into account. So rubbish, certain criteria. Rubbish gets one. Where's the rubbish? Is it onto a private property or is it onto a public land or like? And
That
then
would
you
be
get two.
good to have a Gronk system to work out. What is it called? Unit point? What is it called?
It's a penalty unit.
Penalty unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be good to work out within the office some penalty units.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So kitchen area,
Yeah.
one penalty unit if it goes down in the kitchen area, and then it gets onto like what actually has happened. So what could be?
I mean, so how many penalty units is something happening in the bathroom?
So you get one for being in the bathroom, and then there's
No, without doing anything wrong. Just taking a shit, one penalty unit.
no.
Because you'd be in more trouble than I. The amount of ding dings I hear from the toilet brush.
That would reduce the units,
Mate,
wouldn't it? Ding
there's
ding.
things that reduce the unit. So let's say the person that. So maybe 2 penalty units for a person that puts 3 penalty units. Okay, this is how you go.
He's
You
getting
get the
power hungry.
bathroom, 1 penalty unit because that's where the crime went down. That's where the Gronk crime went down. Second is not taking off the empty toilet roll because it was just there and useless. Third penalty unit, them putting the toilet roll and just sitting it on top, not even sideways. You have to physically grab it. So that's a third penalty unit. And if they leave a shit stain on the toilet, 4th. So what are we looking at there? How much is that fine?
There are 4 of them.
160. What is it? $165 per unit.
Wait, so each unit has the same price, does it?
Yeah.
Was it Ben? Laura has just sent. No, it wasn't Ben.
By the end of the show, we will name the person who
$660, Tommy, and 88 cents.
Okay, so what?
$660.88.
Oh, geez, that's
that's
it,
4
over a-
units, yeah.
we could actually start making money doing this. Could we make money through the podcast by having some sort of Gronk system?
I love it.
What about cards? This is a little bit guerrilla marketing-ish. What about the idea of cards that say like Gronk move?
Yeah.
And we call out Gronk behaviour. And so we have cards. And so if you did a shit park, you've been submitted to, the Gronk behaviour or whatever.
Yeah.
It will be mentioned on the Daily Talk Show.
Yeah, I fucking
like-
love it. I love it. So first of all, came to mind was you like a funny video, Ryan John in a referee's outfit because he is the game show host guy.
Yeah.
But he has some
He is
real
the new age Mike Whitney.
has Gronk legit hard cards, and they're our blue. And
if we do enough
you get
of a
blue
lead
carded.
time-
You get Gronk carded.
Blue card's great.
Blue cards, which is our branding, and
Yeah.
then you've got
Thanks,
just
mate.
for anyone listening and trying to work out, blue is my favourite colour. So if you had been taking note over the last 400 plus episodes,
Okay.
or they could have been purple because that's
Purple,
Josh's favourite colour.
Mm-hmm.
So blue, and then
Breeze is green, by the way.
oh, that's cute.
I know you asked, and I said sort of neutral colours, and you said beige, and beige. And
I mean,
said
you
yes.
guys are funny because yours is purple. I've never seen you ever use or wear anything that is purple. And green, Brie. I don't know. Does Brie have green clothes already? And
Yeah, she's
usually
got a
they're the
green
colour.
jumper.
Oh yeah, okay, fair. But
What's yours again? Blue.
Blue. I mean, but it's so much easier. I can wear blue jeans, like my light blue stuff that I've got.
It's more of a basic. You went for a safe answer.
No,
The
just
blue,
like blue.
like I like the blue
baby
sky.
blues. Like I like shades of blue. Like I like this blue. That's why I was so happy when I came back and you guys had decided on the blue. I was like,
Yeah. What would be
great.
something that
Amazing.
you would buy in the colour of purple rather
Nothing.
than blue?
nothing. Spray can. Sometimes there's some really nice like
Like black and blue. Oh,
No,
sorry,
no.
black and purple.
there's like really light purples. Anyway, we're off the Gronk cards. So they're blue cards, and we've got Ryan John scouring the CBD, looking to hand out a Gronk card.
Oh, that's great.
And so then what happens is, like you said, each of these Gronk moves gets handed to somebody, and this will be mentioned on the Daily Talk Show.
Yeah.
And so it's a moment of the week where Ryan comes back and
do we do it once a week?
it's a lot. It was a lot of work for Ryan, but I'd like him to do
Yeah, I
it.
think it would be fun. I mean, if we start with Ryan and see where it goes. So
Yeah.
do we start it in the CBD or something?
Well, I mean, it's quite easy because you could just easily find someone who flicks a ciggy butt, who just drops who spits. I mean, could get aggressive with those
Next
people.
week we'll be in
Parking.
Sydney. We could do a Sydney Gronk edition out
Yeah.
in like the go sort of the tourist hotspots.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah,
Gronk,
yeah.
Gronk moves. I mean, the problem is when it comes to printing, the thing that's gotten us in the past has been short deadlines.
Yeah, we like things to get done quick.
Yeah.
But with
It ends
a
up-
quick
Yeah,
turnaround.
it ends up costing more.
Yeah.
And so that's the only concern I have at this point is the cost.
Yeah. Anyway. So,
We should actually do it.
Mr. 97, have you found out any other fines in Victoria that are obscure costs?
Well, I've never heard of this, but fat arming, when you leave your arm hanging out of the window in the car, costs you $325.
Fat
Who
arming.
calls it fat arming?
It's on the government website.
On the
Fat-
government website.
So when you're driving along, you just,
F-A-T,
mate, I
Hyphen arming.
fat arming.
Never heard of it before.
Can you
I
just Google
fat arm
fat
a lot.
arming?
I fat arm quite a bit. I mean,
No,
but don't
I actually- I
don't
don't-
fucking judge my arm, Victorian Police Department.
Urban Dictionary comes up first. But
And what does the Urban Dictionary say? What's
to
the fat arm?
cruise down the street in your car with the window rolled down with your arm hanging out the window, making your muscles look bigger than they actually
So
are.
the Victorian government is using Urban Dictionary to work out what they're going to be. Next, they'll be charging people for dabbing and things like that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You'll be done.
How much? How much for a dab?
Yeah,
How
no,
much are you getting charged for a dab? 1 unit.
Yeah, 1 unit.
Well, this was the interesting thing, which I never actually completely worked out, but I watched a current affair a few months ago.
Expose on dabbing.
No, not on dabbing, on being in the car, and they were saying you basically can't even be drinking or eating while in the car.
Drinking.
Food, anything. You can't have a hand off the wheel and be doing something.
And then what happens with a company like Macca's who just supplies food into the car
Drive-through.
window, and as if you don't just have to have a little sippy of Coke before you just put it down. You're
So
in the
you-
car. I'm saying they're the businesses that are encouraging this stuff, and it makes it feel like it's okay when you.
Yeah. I mean,
been
can you
given
have a look up in the what the Victorian laws are? Because in this area where we are in Abbotsford, there are police, cyclists with like Lycra, and they're pulling people over. Like they're riding very slowly. It seems like an extremely inefficient way of doing things.
Well, or efficient because you don't see them coming. They're like
They
little
blend in.
predators, and then they just pop out and just on your window, and you've been done for $415 for being on your mobile device while in your vehicle.
Yeah, it's hard. I wonder how I'd go talking my way out of it.
No,
what
no,
would
no.
you?
No.
No
Like,
way.
The dude who, I know that. Yeah, the dude who got me. I said something about my family. I was like, mate, I've just had
Classic
just had
Tommy
a kid.
Jackett.
I was so fucking.
I'm a dad. I'm a
I
good
was-
dad. I'm a good
I'm a
dad.
great dad.
I don't give a fuck.
But they no. They don't fucking like
Yeah.
helping people anymore. I mean, what are you going to talk? You're doing the wrong thing, and that's why I had to cop it on the chin. The other one that I got done was driving. So I took off from a set of lights, and we just finished doing an interview podcast with Craig Harper. This was way back, way back, and I'd taken off, and it was like just hit 2:30, which is school zone. And the fucking snakes, I was on the opposite side of the school. The kids weren't out. And I just accelerated, not even thinking. And then all of a sudden, I see a cop on the road. He's just like this. I was like, my heart just sunk because and I still hadn't worked
Better
out
being
what
a
I'd done.
cop than being a kid.
Oh, yeah, I should have driven through. But I pulled in, right? And I was like, oh, no. What the fuck? What was I don't quite get it yet. And so I wound down the window as he's walking. I kind of leant. I fat-armed out. I was like, what's the problem here, mate? And
you had attitude.
Yeah.
No. I said it.
No, I would have, if I was a cop.
said it nicely. I said, sorry, what's the problem here?
It's still not nice.
Yeah.
You still got attitude.
No. It was,
Tell me, how did you say it?
I promise you, I was fucking
All right, stop yelling.
really upset.
Just let's reset
I was
for a
really
sec.
upset.
How did you say it?
I said, excuse me, what's the problem here? Like I was acting a bit dumb.
You sound like a...
No, that's exactly what I said. But what he did was he held the thing on his fucking coat and he just said, the time of day. Like he started recording. And so he turned on a recording device. But it seemed like only because I leant out and interacted that he thought, okay, this could be fucking, this could be on. Yeah, no, this could be on. I could just blow up and he's documenting it.
Yeah. So clearly you were aggressive.
I 100% wasn't aggressive. 100%.
You were sooky.
I was sooky, but I wasn't. I was like, I'm
That's a
trying
win.
to understand
Yeah.
what it was,
I
right?
wonder, because if you're a cop, you've got like room to move. You could be checking. He could check your tires. He could get you real good.
Well, yeah, if you're a smartass, that's why you can't. But then all cops now record everything, so it's like if they're doing solids for people, like how could a mate of mine was driving and he shouldn't have been driving, and he'd had a few drinks and he got pulled over, and he was with his brother and they made them get out and they fucked with them. They were like, okay, now I need you both to, I need you to do 10 push-ups. And they started making him do push-ups and
Really? How long ago was
this was years and years ago when we were young, and they just then were like, no worries. All right, see ya. They just,
Really?
they
You're
didn't
going to
even,
get speeding,
they didn't
Josh.
even breast
I had
them.
to, yeah, I'd be
Loose.
fucked. How many would I have to do? I'd just be like, what's the fine?
What's the fun?
Kettlebell swings, all of a sudden they've got a kettlebell. Yeah. But I had a friend the other day that it went in a country town, went from one speed limit to another,
Getcha.
and she got pulled over. They had a alcohol, what is it called?
Yeah,
Breathalyzer.
Breathalyzer.
Yep.
And she's like, I thought I must have been speeding, but I knew that I wasn't. He goes, oh, no, you were. You were going 20 kilometres over the speed limit.
So they're
Anyway,
just trying to work out if she's pissed.
Yeah. And so, but he went back to the car, did a check, and he said, I'm giving you a warning. You are very lucky you have no other record of speeding.
Fuck, that's good. That's good. So,
But that is pure luck at that point.
100%.
Like what is allowing that, in that case, that person to get off versus someone else? It's just like a likable face.
I think it has to be the cop. It has to be the cop wanting just to be okay, because then you're assuming that the person can break the cop. I think there's just some who are friendly. So there's just some humans that are nicer than others. And the same guy that was made to do the push-ups was once caught on. He got pulled over speeding, and the guy said, "You're going blah blah blah," and he said, "Luckily," he said, "Show me the gun that says that." And the guy didn't have the gun.
Oh, really?
He didn't have it registered on the gun. So you go boom. It's not a camp. They don't take a photo. It just locks
Registered or whatever, yeah.
registers your speed, and then you can see.
It
And
goes
so
off, yeah.
And he was like, at this time, I don't think it's probably the case. I mean, I wouldn't do it
everything
now.
would be
Back
recorded.
then it was like always ask to see the gun.
I know that people would ask for their the photo if they're getting caught, if they've gotten caught speeding or whatever.
Yeah, you can actually
No, they
see
have
it
to show you
online.
the-
You can see it online. You can log into the website. So if you get done through a red light camera, and you can, I think you actually have to pay. Look that up. Do you have to pay to obtain the red light camera photo? That's
I
what
don't think you have to. I think they just have to provide it. Have you ever gone to court for one of these things?
No, I can't be fucked. I'd rather pay the
no
money.
admin. I hate.
Going to court for a fine would be the most annoying thing. I was walking past VCAT, which is in the city, and they look after
The amount of times that I've threatened the ombudsman to all different types of people. It's crazy. The amount of times I said ACCC and Consumer Affair yesterday talking to Apple. And the thing is, it's harder when you are like slightly, not being unreasonable, but tell me what you think. So on Thursday, when my computer was broken, they checked what the deal was, and they said, it's a USB port. It's the USB port's not working. We just need to replace that. And I'm like, I need the laptop by Sunday night.
Today.
Today. It's a non-negotiable. And so I ended up working my way to the manager, and I said, I'm like, the thing is, this has happened many times before, and what happens is you guys test out what's wrong with the whole thing, and then it turns out it's something else, and then you don't have the part, and there's all these delays. And I'm like, in case that happens, can you just have that other part on standby, or can you just I was trying to get a replacement, essentially. And so, long story short, today was meant to be the day. Yesterday, I get an email. They said they were going to call me.
Email?
They emailed and said, can you call, please, in regards to this? And so I called them, and they're like, oh, yeah, we need another part. It's going to now take an extra few more days, and so you won't get it until Tuesday, which I get it. It's like, it's fairly reasonable. It's like, what do you think at this point?
I mean, what can they do aside from give you a replacement
Give
laptop?
me a replacement.
Yeah. But that's what you're pushing
you,
for. So you're going, your problem, which is being solved quicker than most other cases, you need to rectify that. And that's the funny thing. I think this is why people don't push, is because you have to get somebody into a pretty uncomfortable position using your words.
I was literally saying to him, I'm like, okay, I'm putting myself in your position. And so I'd like play it all out. And so we did that for an hour and 15 minutes. The store had closed. It was 5:15 and I was still on the phone to him.
They would think you're an absolute flog.
Yeah. And the thing was, he's like, oh no, I've noted it all down. I'm like, oh fuck, imagine this note. Because the thing is.
No, he hasn't. He's just saying, he's being a good customer service person.
I've had 4 replacements. And this is like, they've spoiled me. I've had so many replacement laptops where things have gone wrong that I'm like, it wasn't this hard last time.
No, but I think it's changing. I know you've been good at getting it, but I got the early day iPhones. I had like 5 replacements. I just take it in. Yep, new one. Yep, new one. Yep, new one. But they slowly start to go, okay, no, we can repair. And so they start to.
But the thing is, the repair stuff, there was a whole expose on it. They're making the devices so small that they actually can't repair. It's so hard to repair devices nowadays, and they're gluing shit in. And so that's part of the problem, is that a lot of the cases, like it is traumatic. I know this is very low level trauma, but it's traumatic being at the Genius Bar and hearing all the different, everyone's going through something, right? And so this one lady, she couldn't work out her password for her iPad, and they were having to reset the whole thing.
Oh no, and losing
she was
everything.
saying, and so she was saying, oh, like, what's another one going to cost new? And then she was like really flirting. She was in her 50s, and she was really flirting with this guy who was also in his 50s, to the point where, like, she said, oh, like, could I get a job here, type of thing? Like, what would it take to get a job? And she's like, even maybe I could just, direct people. And he's like, you can actually do this sort of stuff. She goes, I don't know anything about this stuff. He's like, no, we train you and all that sort of thing. Before you know it, they're hugging.
Really?
Hang on, this isn't the person with the forgotten password.
Yeah.
She was like so traumatized because she was like, they weren't sure whether there was other hardware issues or whatever. And so she was asking, what's the price going to be? And it was like the how to win friends. Everyone's trying to do the how to win friends and influence people.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It takes a lot of effort. Look how much thought and effort you've been in over the past 4 days. Like just
so
thinking about it. And so this is why people don't do this shit. People don't fight fines. They'll pay their parking fine when they probably know that they probably could get out of it. Some people have got, like I've written for fines before, never got out of them.
So then Brie, when I get off the phone, she can't look at the positive of how much effort I put in. She straight away said, why can't you do that with Fitness First?
No, it's a fucking valid point.
Yeah.
It is a valid point.
And so, but how about this? One of our mates.
What's Fitness First? What is that?
6
It's a
months
gym membership.
contract.
No, but what you want to get out of it?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah. No, there should be some way of getting. I reckon that would
A
be.
medical?
I reckon that'd be much easier than the Genius Bar, to be honest.
Maybe
Just getting out of it.
because then I can get somewhere closer and we can do this whole sauna dream that we've got.
That sounds great.
No,
Anyway,
but how about
I reckon
this?
don't give it much more thought.
what
Don't
about-
give it too much more energy.
A friend of ours who worked at a Fitness First, she was an instructor, got the cheaper like $10 a week rate, like a really good rate. She wanted to cancel. They required a medical certificate
For her to cancel.
for her to cancel.
And she worked there.
She had worked there, yeah. So
Okay.
she'd gotten a good deal, and then
I mean,
she
this is the thing about contracts. There's not much. How much leeway have they got? Like, this is the thing. A
Who?
business.
how much leeway, as in to
Like, for a company that enforces a contract, and then hundreds of people are trying to get out of what they'd put together. So it's like pushing against. I get it. There's some phone companies are criminals in some respects. Gyms, they rely on people not going. They rely on the use of the world.
Do you know what he suggested to our friend? He said, "Oh, you can actually just sell your membership on Gumtree."
Wow.
I've seen those listings.
So, but that's flawed. I mean, that seems bizarre.
Who the fuck is buying a membership off Gumtree? Like, what's that arrangement?
Can you look it up, see if we can buy any gym memberships? Because we might be able to buy the one that Josh wants,
sauna one
wants to end up getting.
Or maybe it could be a swap,
That'd be
gym
good.
swap.
Yeah, but it's still being debited. I don't know how that works because it's like your photo or all your details are on the card. This is where you're just going to have an
I don't
in.
know if I
Having
wouldn't-
an in at any company. I don't know how it's probably hard at Apple.
Well, I got to the point of mentioning Trevor Long on the Apple call.
Trevor's right now saying, "Do never mention me again."
Yeah, so if he doesn't get to go to the Apple events anymore, it's because I mentioned him.
Pick
But
your
I did
battles.
also
Where is
say-
your energy going? It's
Well, isn't it annoying not having a laptop tomorrow and the next day?
It's fucking annoying, to be honest. But I think, yeah. So now that it is the case where they're just, you've got no option, right? This is the thing. You try and push it until they say, "Listen, bro, you got no
Yeah,
option."
Huge silences during
Really?
the whole thing.
God,
Where I
and
would
for a guy
throw-
that doesn't like awkward
Yeah.
interactions.
So I've gotten so much better. What about this morning? We went to Macca's and I got an iced latte. I tasted it and I was like, oh, they've given me like an iced coffee, like some sort of, what are they called? Like
it was it was just an
Ice Bros?
but it
or what's
tasted
the-
like it had sweetened condensed milk in it.
Yeah, it was naughty as fuck.
It was
and
so sweet.
And so I wanted something fairly healthy. Well,
You want
not
an iced
healthy.
latte? You want a latte with ice in it?
Yeah. No, and so I said, oh, hey, like I just wanted this. Like, what's the deal? And she said, oh, we put like sweetener in it.
That is bizarre. Mr. 97, I asked you to look up a couple of things. The first one.
So the eating while you're driving, there's no law that specifies that you can't do it, but the driver has to have proper control of the vehicle at all times, which is where they get you.
So
Subjective, they
using-
just say you.
Yeah, you don't actually have control because you're eating cereal.
My favourite time in the car was when I was driving down the Peen Highway, 80-kilometre road, 80 kilometres an hour speed limit. I look to my left. There's a guy laughing his head off, bowl of cereal in hand, noise-cancelling headphones on while driving the car. Just
Was he in a Tesla?
no.
But that's what's going to happen with all these self-driving cars.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad idea. What other things did we ask?
You can literally just view the image when you sign in to view your fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for anything.
They
Just a
make
fine.
it so easy for you, right? Just fucking net bank it. It's horrible. I hate fines.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the tattoo, Hayden's tattoo.
it's happening. We're
Yeah.
just working out logistics.
I just wanted to close loops because I know that there's we say things and then we want to make sure that we're delivering on promises. So we're going to do it on Friday, but there was issues with getting time with the tattooist
in a small
in the
studio.
space.
Yeah.
So we're sorting out that. But I do like the idea of moving on this Gronk move idea.
Gronk
the Gronk card.
Gronk cards.
So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So what we could do to start is we could get Ryan John and we can do a video where he's giving out Gronk moves or Gronk cards and we work out what it is.
Yeah. I think it needs to just say something on it, and so they're handed over, and then he just walks off.
I think he needs to address the Gronk move.
Okay. So and
Hi,
then,
mate. So sorry. I just saw you spit into oncoming traffic or something.
Yeah,
Don't you agree?
Yeah. Especially
Hey, mate,
people that park like
what
a
about
Gronk.
this? What about on the train? Mate, so you didn't tap on. I don't work for Metro, so you're fine. But it is unfortunately a Gronk move. I'm going to have to give you that. That's pretty fucking good, isn't it? I'd love to do that. What other ones? What are some easy ways?
Parking, 100%. You've parked too far away from the curb. You've parked on an angle. You've parked over two spots.
Yeah.
Huge Gronk moves. Littering. Bins. What do you mean?
Like people, is it a Gronk move if you're walking past a bin that is a residential bin that's going to go into someone's house?
Yeah, look, if
Can
you're putting
you
too
put
much stuff in, if you're putting way too much stuff in.
There's probably a bit
just
nuanced.
dropping something in. That's fine.
Yeah, but
I dropped in an apple the other day to someone's bin.
yeah, so I don't think that's too bad. It's on the edge. It's half a unit. But if it's overflowing, if it's too full, like people are trying to put shit into people's bins when they're full. So I've dealt with this. So my apartment block that I used to live in has the bins on the street, and so sometimes we'll come out there, fucking some asshole has just dropped in a bunch of shit, and it's so frustrating. Like there's only so many bins. There's like 2 rubbish bins for a block of 6 apartments, 7 apartments. It's too much.
It feels like we're in a bit of a rubbish crisis at the moment in Australia. I think we actually are, aren't we? Is 97 just searching rubbish crisis?
plastic. The plastics, it's the exporting. I mean, we were just making it someone else's problem.
Well,
That was
someone
the only
else's,
thing.
like a big business is gone under. And so there is a warehouse full of rubbish.
Full of plastic bags. That's what I wanted to. It's in Dandenong. It was in the paper, and it's like
We could
filled.
go to Dandenong.
Imagine if we found it, went full to the brim, and we went up, just big Gronk card.
We could definitely.
I think they need to be the size that you can fit, so we can always carry them. That would be good, other than being novelty size.
Yeah, it'd be good. What about like a notepad with like a
You've
the
re-
glue on the top, so you like tear it off. It's
Sticky
like a
note,
terrible
sticky
one.
note, and
That'd
then
be
you can
quite
actually
good.
write
With
out
some
what the
adhesive.
fine was.
Yeah.
So it's like a
Well, it shouldn't
fill your
require
own.
writing.
Yeah, then
It's
let's
a
not
bit
do the
hard.
sticky note. Let's just go the bigger size cards.
Okay.
We can deal with them.
I just had a thought when you talked about the Dandenong thing, the warehouse. I'd love to in the next year do the daily talk show from an AusPost
Why?
in the back. I want to see how it all works.
Nah, it looks boring. Looks so boring.
Sorting and all the stuff going on.
Oh, it looks so boring.
Are you sure you want to go to the back of a post office,
Not
or
like
do you want to
I
go
wanna
to the sorting
proper-
facility?
I want to go sorting.
Sorting.
facility.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm in for that. I just thought you meant at the local.
No.
Okay, so the sorting facility would be sick. Also,
Where is the sorting facility?
there's a
Isn't there one near the airport? I feel like there's one near the
Tullamarine. You can go and pick up parcels from there, but maybe that's because it's international post, like stuff coming in.
Yeah.
I saw a
Courier.
video years ago, and I'd love to do it because I feel like it's come a long way. The technology since then. Someone sent a parcel in like a clear box and filmed the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be illegal, don't you think? Filming all that shit. Like we were talking this morning about where you can film and what's okay. I would imagine because it's a private business and it's being handled by individuals.
Time lapse or something would be sick though.
Mm.
Anyway, if you've got a hookup at some form of, I would accept like a DHL, USPS.
any sorting
Wouldn't you?
facility. As long as they've got big conveyor belts and where they're sending shit around. I mean, I don't know how.
Could you imagine what the machinery would smell like? This is a bit sick.
What's the machinery though? What are they doing? What, you think they're doing it manually? You think they're doing it automatically?
Like letters.
But how are they then seeing what's on them?
Well, at some point they're going through a chicha. We don't know what it's actually doing, but it's definitely sorting something.
Yeah, I'm
big,
fascinated.
big, small.
Because it seems it's an archaic industry.
Well, the whole letter, like that's what's so bizarre about the whole thing.
So how do they do it?
I'm going to send something.
I mean, we were filming at AusPost, the headquarters.
Yeah, but we got
our security clearance. No, there's no letters there because it's a big corporate building. But maybe we could weasel in through a few people, find a.
I feel like they'd be real funny about it.
Same, yeah. I mean, I'd rather go to the Mint.
What are
the note printing place out in Nunawading where they print off the cash that gets sent out across Australia?
What are the other places? The other one would be like a carrier airline, like one that's
I've got it. It's been my dream for a long time.
There we go.
I think I've mentioned this to you. When you look out into the bay, I mean, you might be at an ocean, you might be at the actual ocean, but here in Melbourne, we've got Port Phillip Bay, and that's what I'm looking out to. But you see coming from the docks these big cargo ships. I want to be on that. Think about what are you doing on a cargo ship? What do the rooms look like? What are you eating? What's the food like?
Yeah, why did you point at me?
Because I knew I'd get you into it. Imagine speaking to the chefs.
Can you type in the Volendam cruise?
Volendam cruise.
I think it's like Volendam
cruise.
Yeah, you found it?
What is it?
There's a word in front of it that I can't think of. What
MS
Volendam. So anyway, when I was working at the Metropolitan Fire Brigade, I was in the media department, and they had this. It's a Dutch ship, I believe, a Dutch cruise ship, and it was visiting Melbourne with like tourists, and basically they hook up with local fire, like on the odd occasion or whatever. All cruise ships, I think, have to do this. They basically run drills. So if there was a big fire
on the ship,
wow. And so all of the workers that were on the ship have to get into firefighting uniforms and are having to put out a fire. And I filmed the whole thing. It was great.
And so you went on to a cargo ship?
It wasn't a cargo ship. It was a cruise ship.
Like a newish one that people would be drinking mocktails, cocktails.
This is the thing about ships. You can look it up and see exactly what's the deal with MS Volendam.
It's a pretty primo cruise ship. They just, I don't know how your one came all the way to Australia, but you just book onto them and you can BBC Earth experiences, explore.
But there's only one, right?
I mean, these things go all around the world. Yeah. They're ridiculous. Yeah,
the cabins look insane.
I reckon you get so seasick.
Well, would you? I've vomited it on Spirit of Tassie very badly.
So how good would this be? It'd be great because we could med you up.
Do you think I could get over it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's the whole thing.
I would need to get a needle in the bum.
Is that what they do?
That's what they do.
We'll get you a needle in the bum, and we somehow get our own little cabin in the workers' quarters. And imagine that. Like, I look out at night.
No, this is the problem. Cargo ships.
Yeah.
Also going to be not set up for the personal experience.
No, that's
it's going to be shit food.
That's why.
It's going to be.
I mean, otherwise you're just having a privileged experience.
I mean, I sent a bunch of emails to airlines
trying to fly first class.
Podcasting first class is what I called it.
Dirty Jobs, that show. I loved it because you're getting in amongst it and you're seeing. So the thing about the cargo ship is people live on those. That is their job. They're traveling around the world, coming into different ports, unloading. So that's what interests me is that these people have a life that is that. It's
and
normal.
They're like tradespeople?
Yeah,
I wonder if they're like tradey, sort of a bit rough.
I don't know.
A bit like
the wharfies. I mean, there has been back in the day down the wharfs.
Can you look up DP World? So DP World is in, I think it's called DP World. There was another cool thing I got to do when I was at the fire brigade. I worked with the high angle rescue team training. And so we went off, they abseiled off the Sofitel in the city and I filmed off the roof, which was sick. And then the other one was these massive cranes. Can you see it if you type it in, Mace? DP, is it DP?
Yeah, it's like a container
Yeah. So those big, but if you look at like Port Melbourne DP World, there's these huge cranes and you go up them and it's just got like grated flooring, like honeycomb style.
Yeah. They look like, we call them giraffes. So from the distance, you can
Who's
see
we?
me, Bodie, Amy and I.
Okay.
We're like, oh, look at the giraffes and they're huge.
So confusing for
They
him.
look like it. No, mate, he would have more knowledge about animals than you.
But it's not an animal.
A giraffe?
No, the fucking cranes.
Yeah, but it looks like one.
It looks like those
course
things
he
from
knows.
Star Wars in the
yeah.
the snow. Those big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is something cool about living near we're planning on moving the show to the coast by 2025.
Yeah.
Not a port though.
No, not a port. No, there will be no
What about
port
San
in sight.
Francisco? Beautiful, like sea.
Yeah, it is kind of
side
nice.
sort of-
I'd rather
Is
LA.
it sea?
Yeah, that is the entrance
I
into
should know.
underneath the bridge. Underneath the Golden Gate Bridge is the ocean, so it comes in into the bay,
Yeah. I
San
should know
Francisco
that.
Bay. Anyway,
San Francisco is sick. If San
It is
Francisco was more affordable, that would be amazing. But it's
we're going to take little baby there too.
it's ridiculous.
Mr. 97.
Big roads, like just and just like the hills and it's
Oh,
good
it's
fun.
the most bizarre city. When I was there in like off the back, summer, and during the day, stinking hot in t-shirts, getting tanned. Next minute, out for dinner in leather jackets because it's freezing. The fog had rolled in, so we walk
fog
out
is sick.
of this Japanese restaurant, and you just see whipping around the corner. You can see the fog just like pouring around the corner. It looks like it's a horror film or something.
It's like something that's alive.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Today we're actually live streaming as well on Instagram. 97. Maybe you TJ can
20
have a
people?
look on
20 people there?
Do it.
Yeah, 20 people.
20
about
people.
20
Yeah, there's
people.
definitely 20 people.
Uh,
I'll see if any little things
Any
have come
comments or anything that you want to say
through.
before we go?
Krogger said, "Did I miss the secret sound?" Yeah, mate, you're fucking way too late.
No joke. How about this? Bree got a text message.
Sorry,
Just turn it down.
Sorry, mate.
Bree, this is no joke. Bree
Yeah?
got a text message from a friend saying, "Hey, my sister heard that your boyfriend worked at Fox. Does he know the secret sound?"
Because it's 50 grand at the moment,
Is it-
isn't it?
Leg-
I'm pretty sure
100?
someone won 100 the other
100
day.
grand?
Literal,
Yeah.
like that was an actual text message.
Hey,
And I said to Bree, I'm like, "Who the fuck is this? It's not even a
Did she-
joke."
does she know the number?
Huh?
Some random number? Far out. Mate, they tell one person, or one person creates it and they don't tell anyone
Yeah,
else.
well, Leon, our mate who's been on the show, has been the holder of the secret sound before.
That's a lot of pressure.
But
That's a
do
lot
you
of
remember
pressure.
the guy I think it was in WA, that told someone the secret sound?
And got sent it.
Yeah, got done.
Got done walking. Anyway, next week, huge week on the Daily Talk Show. And then we're off to Sydney later in the week. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, a lot going on. It's a daily talk show. If you are enjoying the show, we do like when you leave Apple Podcast reviews because it helps us.
You put up a post which got me a little emotional because I'd never thought about it like this, but you said the Daily Talk Show has had more downloads this week than our first 6 months
Combined. It's pretty crazy,
That's
isn't
so fucking cool.
it? Yeah, it's
I mean,
exciting.
we don't really stop too much. I mean, we look at the numbers and
We
stuff.
haven't
but
gone to La Porchetta and celebrated.
I know that feels like it
For a
needs a
calzone.
La Porchetta. Fucking
Is there
calzone.
one in Bulleen?
I don't know, mate, but I will find it in these moccasins.
So this is outrageous. You've got blue. These were ones that Amy got you for your birthday.
Yeah, they're Ralph
fancy.
Lauren. They're Ralph Lauren.
What does Ralph Lauren moccasins cost? Do you reckon?
$70?
Okay.
I asked her because I was thinking, oh fuck, how much have you spent
If
on
you
these
spent
things?
400 on
I'd be so
moccasins.
pissed. Last night, I just-
$70.
still good. They're
How I
nice.
feel? Do you remember Grandpa's slippers?
Put one on. They'll be way too big for you because you got such a tiny foot.
Go fuck yourself. Athlete's foot regrammed out. Oh,
They're good, huh? They're just
they're
nice.
warm too.
Yeah, they're nice. Anyway, I
It
went.
feels almost like hot water. Like they're wet, but they're not.
I went and picked up a pizza last night.
From where? Johnny Boys?
No, down the end of there is
Veneto
the
Club?
best wood-fired pizza. We had the most amazing pizza. Some joint. You'll come over and have it anyway at some point. But went down and I was in my moccasins and I was like, I've moved to the burbs.
Was it Molino?
Wood-fired pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck yeah.
Good bullying
So
chat, guys.
so good. Anyway,
Just quickly, when is the fire going to be set up? The fire pit.
in a couple of weeks.
Can we put a date on a time to actually
End of the month,
maybe
for
do
sure.
a show in an evening, live stream it
From
by the fire.
Yeah, fuck, that's a great idea. End of this month.
What about like
Jacuzzi?
Maybe hopefully have that set up too. So we'll do the fire and then we'll jump into the jacuzzi.
what needs
Right.
to happen for the jacuzzi? then?
No, it needs to be cleaned and then
What do you fill it with? Water and
you just grab
do
the hose.
chlorine?
We
or
need
like,
a
what do you-
hose. There's a bunch of stuff we need, and then you need a chemical. So there's like starter kits. It's
Is it a permanent jacuzzi?
dude, it's fucking fenced
Is it
off with
built in?
glass in the corner. Step up. It's so
You
good.
still haven't answered. Is it a permanent one?
That's it.
You can have a fence that's not permanent, like, but it's
No, but what? Hang on. Tell me about the jacuzzi that you've seen that's not permanent.
oh, like the ones that are like
Which
a
one?
spa that's just like that's like a box. It's like out of ground.
But that's a permanent spa.
I guess.
No, but that is. That's
Was
how.
there anyone on Instagram or
so
no?
that you're
Watching.
deflection.
Yeah.
Deflection.
20.
yeah,
We
but
said-
live.
No,
but,
no.
is
I
there
read
any
it all.
comments?
I read it all.
Who did you read?
Kroger, Secret Sound. That's how you started talking about Secret Sound. Anyway, I want my Ugg boot
read
back
them
because my
all.
foot is freezing. There was a couple of others.
I feel like 97 would be seeing more.
Lara commented.
Bree said hi.
Okay.
It's actually pushed
think-
out all of my. It's pushed them all out. They're
yeah,
gone.
that's what happens because that's why I'm asking 97. He would be able to scroll through, or I know he's not comfortable touching the phone while the live stream's going. Anything
There we go,
interesting?
just moved it. Lara said, Gronk moved some dickhead putting their freshly filled dog poo bag in my freshly emptied bin.
that is Gronk behavior.
I mean, it's going to go somewhere, but I get it. You don't want it. You didn't choose to have a dog that shits and you have to clean it up. And no, Gronk move.
Any others?
Derek said hi. Scooter
Hi,
Derek.
Hi,
Gronk.
Scooter.
And Tiff said hi as well.
Hi, Tiff.
Hey Tiff,
Great.
amazing.
All right. So please do give us a review. If you've never done it before, just go onto the Apple Podcasts app, go to the Daily Talk Show, click write a review, say something nice. We'll read it out on the show. And then it helps people know that we're something worth listening to sometimes, maybe. Anyway, it's a Daily Talk Show. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
See you guys.